And that's why I gravitated towards her. I'm so very used to playing a girl next door or someone that you root for and you fall in love with. And this is not Capri. And that was something that I also had to go through my personal journey with is how do I connect with her and I can't see myself as the villain.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Movie Podcast. My name is Shabazz and I am joined by my living co-host, not my dead one. The dead one right now would technically be Anthony, I guess.
We don't know because he's not here. Maybe
He's not here.
Watching us.
Maybe he's watching us
Maybe
from the dead.
Maybe.
Because the movie that we're about to talk about right now, which is Darby and the Dead. So I already spoiled the part that I was gonna, wait up on a little bit, but I already said it. It deals with a lot of people that are dead and kind of hanging around, and the main character can actually see the dead. So can we see Anthony? Daniel, can you see him?
I'll be honest with you. Personally, right now, I cannot see him. But I know that he could see us, especially when he's editing this video that you're going to be watching on youtube.com/TheMoviePodcast.
What if he's behind me? What if I just move a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not there.
No, it's Batman. It's Batman. It's Robert Pattinson's Batman behind you.
I don't know if that's something better or not. I don't know.
I think it's better.
That's true. Better. Unless I'm a bad guy, then it's pretty bad.
No. You're good. You're okay.
Well, this is the Movie Podcast, and every single Monday we drop a brand new episode. And throughout the week, we have interviews and reviews kind of like this one, and you can follow us at the Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Letterboxd, and probably more as well. We're everywhere. If you just Google the Movie Podcast, you'll get to where you need to go sometimes. If you want to email us, hello@TheMoviePodcast.ca is a great place to do that. You can find all of our personal socials as well down in the links below. In the links below as well, you will probably also see some other really cool stuff. Give everything a read. That's your only homework after this episode is done. Make sure also that you give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well, or wherever you listen to us. That'd be great. If you're watching us on YouTube, hello, hi, how you doing? This is what we look like. We look like we're alive, I think. At least we look refreshed. Like you look really refreshed right now, Daniel, which is good.
I look great. I look fantastic. I think I am just glowing. I am looking good. I'm looking clean and fresh. So you know what? This is just how I look all the time.
That's good. I'm glad because typically you don't look like this. You look horrible, I would say.
I knew I was going to be on camera today, so I'm like, you know what? Let me make sure I take a shower.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. Well, the film again we're talking about today is Darby and the Dead, and we had I can't believe that we had the opportunity to speak to some of these people because they're absolutely phenomenal. We love their work. We've seen a lot of their work. I one of the things I didn't realize, and I know we were discussing about this, is one of the people we spoke to was from a movie that we've seen years ago, and it never clicked in. Like it never clicked in for us, and that's Chosen Jacobs. I never realized he was in it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You get so focused on the project that you're talking about. And then you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, you were in it. You were so good in it. And
yeah.
It still, I think, to this day, almost 6 years later, 5.5 years later,
oh my God.
Is still, I think, one of the top horror films, especially it being like based off the book. And, we had the 90s one, but like that movie will stand the test of time, part one.
I think that movie fantastic. Is what got us into horror. Back in the day, you and I weren't really men of horror. And now we're watching horror movies all the time.
It's true, and this movie definitely has a little bit of horror elements because it has some ghosts and ghouls and goblins. Ghouls and goblins, but yeah, it is because I remember that trailer came out for it, and you're like, dude, no way am I seeing that in the theater. And then here we are, all these years later. Now we're just like, a movie won't hit us unless it scares us. You know what I mean?
Every movie, even animated ones.
We're just charred on the inside. Nothing could do anything to us now.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, what a show we have for you coming up, though.
What a show. And of course, huge shout out to our friends over at Disney and Hulu for providing us these interviews. Darby and the Dead will be available on Disney Plus in Canada starting January 27th, and it's already available on Hulu in the States. So if you've already seen the movie and you're kind of wondering, hey, I wonder what Riele Downs, Auli'i Cravalho, Chosen Jacobs, Asher Angel are up to, well, we have all that information here. And also, we're joined by the director of the movie, Silas Howard. So it's a stacked interview, I would say. One of my favorites. They were so much fun to talk to. One of the questions we got to ask them, speaking of the power in the film, which is that you can speak to anyone from the dead, who would they speak to? You know what, man, I'll be honest, I couldn't have guessed a single one of their answers prior to recording.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing, right? Like I'm like, yeah, like you think you know who you'd want to talk to, but like I just loved hearing their answers. And I think too, we've been sitting on this interview for a little while, so
Oh
it's
my
nice that
God.
we're finally able to share it and have it out in the world. I think we did this back in November.
Yeah,
at
we
this
look so
point.
different.
So
We
it's
look like such different people.
we're different people then. You know, that's 2022 versions of us. We don't know who they are.
It's
But
pre-Christmas
yeah,
too,
no,
so we're kind of antsy.
yeah, we're we're a little antsy. But no, it's an honor to have been able to talk to all of them. It's a stacked show today with 5 incredible special guests joining us. But we love doing that. We love doing that here in the movie podcast. So yeah, what a show we have for you coming up.
What a show we have. And of course, I don't want to take too long. We're going to jump right into those interviews and starting with Riele and Auli'i. Then we're going to take a left turn over to Asher and Chosen. And then we're going to go down this path over to Silas. I believe that's the navigation that I was given from Google Maps.
I like that. I think that's a strong map, and I think that would be easy to follow.
Easy to follow. Well, let's not waste too much time. Let's get right to it. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us on the movie podcast. We're such big fans of both of you, and this movie is so much fun.
Thank you. It was so much fun to make.
Absolutely. Now, Riele, you're a Toronto local. When are you going to bring Auli'i down here, and what's the first place you're taking her?
Oh my gosh. So you guys are down there? That's great.
Yeah.
Whenever Auli'i wants to go, we will pull up. True. And oh my gosh, where would I take her? I live decently close to the Eaton Center. I feel like that's just a staple. And also you could take the subway from there to literally anywhere. So definitely start there. Maybe take her to a couple of shops. I really like Kensington Market. I think that would be a great place to take her. A lot of antiques, a lot of cool food. Yeah.
She's going to take me to a market. I love
that. Kensington Market of all places.
I love that. Auli'i, you get to play the mean girl in this, which you obviously had a lot of fun doing. Did you have any inspirations of any other mean girls that you looked to, and what was like playing with that type of personality?
Ooh, it was so much fun. I've never played a character like that, to be honest. And that's why I gravitated towards her. I'm so very used to playing a girl next door or someone that you root for and you fall in love with. And this is not Capri. And that was something that I also had to go through my personal journey with, is how do I connect with her and I can't see myself as the villain, So I also wanted her to have some depth. So I, of course, used Mean Girls as an original reference because, to be honest, I didn't want her to be a mean girl. Like there was initially in our script, there were little quips and teasings about weight or about pimples, and I was like, no, that feels a little old. Like I think Capri still listens to NPR. She's just hot.
There's some depth to her for sure.
Yeah, she's
she's not a mean girl, she's a hot girl. I had a lot of fun playing her.
No, you definitely see that for sure.
Now, Riele, your character Darby has a very unique gift in this film. If you actually had the power to talk to the dead, who would you talk to?
Oh my! I know we got this last time when we were trying to brainstorm. I mean, of course, first of all, definitely some family members for sure. Just to be able to talk to them again, see how they're doing. Get maybe even advice on things would be incredible. Other than that, I'm still thinking on like specific people or celebrities, but I feel like I love art. I'm like a visual artist. So I feel like talking to one of the great artists who made some of those paintings back in the day would be incredible, just to get their take on things now that art has reached new heights.
Absolutely. Yeah. Auli'i, what about you?
Oh, I'm not bringing anybody back from the dead. I don't want to do any of that. I grew up Catholic. I grew up with like, if I respect the dead will respect me.
That's great. Well, if you're curious, we asked Asher and Chosen the same thing, and Asher said Einstein, and Chosen said King Solomon. So interesting answers there too.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us today. We love the movie. We can't wait for people to see it, and you guys are so much fun to talk to. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So great to meet you guys.
Take care. Yeah,
King Solomon. I know.
Thanks, guys.
How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Oh yeah, we're thrilled to be here. Thank you so much to both of you for sharing your time with us. This movie is so much fun, and you are both great in it. And I'm curious for both of you. You know, the trailer just dropped finally. Do you guys have a way of celebrating that? Like, who's the first person you're sending it off to? Do you have any traditions for when a trailer drops?
Let's guess who's the first person we send it off to. Mom. Well, either she's sending it to me or I'm sending it to her. So definitely my mom, or I'd be like, Mom, look at this. The trailer's out, And my sister, because she's like my taste test. Like, she lets me know if anything I do is good or corny. So she's like, yeah, I like that.
I like that.
I love that. It's literally the same for me. Exactly what he says. Like, I'll show my mom first, and then I'll actually go to my sister because she is the one that she has the good taste.
Yeah.
They know.
Sisters know.
But yeah, I mean, it's always good. It's always it's a celebration. It is because we put in a lot of hard work into this, and to finally see some of the finished product is super exciting.
Now, Darby has a very unique gift in this film. If you had the power to talk to the dead, who's the first person you want to talk to? And I'll start with Asher first.
Oh, man, that's hard. Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, for me, I guess I would probably want to bring back like someone cool like Albert Einstein to be able to go and sit down with at a dinner though. Okay. Yeah. And talk to him and gain some of his knowledge. I mean, oh man, I wish I could really think about that. Chosen, what do you think?
If I could bring anyone back to talk to, I would bring back King Solomon. They say he was
Solomon. Okay.
I go talk to him. I'd be like, man, what?
That's funny.
Cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I love that. Now, Chosen, we had the chance to speak with Devin Nakota earlier this year for Sneakerella, which awesome film, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
No, quick question for you. She's going to be in the new Scream film. Do you think she's making it out alive?
Oh my gosh. I can't say. I don't even want to put an opinion out
Spoilers.
Okay. I don't know. I pray that she makes it out alive, but I didn't write it, so we'll see.
That's good.
Yeah. But you should go watch it. She's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah, she's great, and Sneakerella is great, man. Like that's one of the films that like we watch this year, and like man, like especially the songs that have been like just stuck in our heads this year.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a great team for that. Shout out to Disney once again.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Come on, Chosen. The mouse. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. Come on. 12 Emmy nominations. Okay.
Absolutely.
Come on, bro.
Absolutely.
11, 12. Come on. Hell yeah.
Asher, we're such huge Shazam fans. What can you tell us about Fear of the Gods?
Oh, goodness. Gosh, I feel like man. Dude, those are the worst press junkets. I always spill something. It's so bad. It's so bad. What can I tell you? I mean, here's what I can tell you. You can expect more than the first film. We've got some additional characters with Helen Mirren and Rachel Ziegler and Lucy Liu who are going to be incredible villains to our second film. And I think you can just expect more than the first film, just more action, more comedy, and more love and heartfelt moments. I think that's what makes Shazam special. It's not your average superhero movie. It's a kid inside of a guy. It's a man inside of a kid. Wait. Give me a second. It's a kid inside of a man's body.
Wait,
there you
it's
go.
not like I've never. Wait. Okay. I'm just gonna say this. It's big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a movie big.
Super excited.
Yeah.
About
Awesome.
But anyway, we're Darby and the Dead, man.
Yes.
Darby the Dead. No
muscles. He got more muscles in this movie.
Chosen, Asher, thank you both so much again for your time. This movie's such a good time, and you guys are great in it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you so much again for sharing your time with us today.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm excited to.
Yeah. So, we, had the opportunity to watch Darby and the Dead, and I'm just curious, you do such a great job of balancing, the comedy, because this movie's so genuinely funny, but it also is dealing with a very serious subject matter. So I'm curious, as a director, what's your approach when you're coming into a story like this?
Well, thank you for saying that, because it really is a tricky tone, the humor. I think I have a deep fondness for gallows humor. I think having dealt with loss, I feel like humor is such a great way to connect and breathe, through difficult times. So, and also I feel like comedy is higher stakes, not lower stakes. So leaning in, I love to nerd out and overtalk comedy with actors, depending on their willingness, and just dig into the stakes of it and not play the joke ever, just play the character as much as possible. So the cast was really great at that.
Yeah, we had the opportunity just to speak with Riele and Auli'i like right before this, And that was one of the things, like, especially for Auli'i, who's playing against her, the type that we normally get to see her in, right? So I think there was a lot of room for them to play with that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, Auli'i, they're both so incredible. I mean, really, just and for Riele to be able to talk direct to camera and hold that chemistry and bring something totally different. And Auli'i, I remembered her saying, like, I don't play the mean girl. And but I was like, girl, you just did it. So got a mean girl in there, but she did such a good job. And also that she's also just an honest person who just speaks her mind. And I actually was like, she's a hero in the film as much as Darby, and I think that's really fun that there's no, in a good movie, hopefully there's no bad characters. They're all have something interesting.
No, you're absolutely right. And one of the things that we kept seeing the cast post about in the beginning of this year was the time, the fun that they were having in South Africa making this movie. What was the experience like for you being able to shoot there? Like, were there any really fun stories or just any difficulties that arose from shooting there?
Well, there was a difficulty of the variant breaking out, and that was we were about to do a week of filming before the holiday hiatus, and that definitely, all the airline shutting down put a bit of a in that plan. But I mean, it was so safe over there. The only danger was the travel ban made it really difficult to get out. The crew was incredible. The local cast. We were filming this high school, and it's actually a high school, which in the US it would be condos or a mansion, is right on this beautiful cliff that overlooks, it's just so much ocean that it feels like you can see the curve of the earth. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Sunset was like, we would film at sunset as much as we could. And I was like, what are we making, a Terrence Malick film here?
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was hard to get too stressed. And then I got this elephant tattoo because I also went.
Wow.
It's gorgeous. Wow.
And we found out in the press meeting that actually one of Janaea got a tattoo of an elephant as well. Anyway, it was the land there and the people, and then also getting to go and, go out to one of the preserves and see all these incredible animals still alive, in their habitat. Anyway, it was just at first I was like, I can't believe I'm going to South Africa to film a movie that's set in coastal California, but the production company we worked with is one of the best there, and they have the best reputation. The crew seemed really happy. It was just I felt very fortunate. It was exciting to get to go somewhere and film outside of the country. So yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it looked amazing, and on top of that, like, you really could not tell that this was South Africa. You guys nailed it with making it look just like California. So that was awesome.
Considering we couldn't shoot, like, if you looked this way from the school, fine. Not this way, like these crazy mountains and so
giant elephants walking by. Exactly. Now, Darby has this very unique gift in the film, obviously. And if we have to ask, if you had that power to talk to the dead, who would you talk to?
Oh, I talk to the dead all the time.
Ah. That's how you made the movie.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder who. I do think about a lot of people. Oh, you mean famous person who I talk to?
Sure, anyone. Yeah, anyone. Anybody.
Oh, I'm so bad with these. I can't. I never can think of them on the spot. I'm creative, but when it comes to these, who would it be? I'd have to
Well, if you're curious, when we asked Asher and Chosen, Asher picked Albert Einstein and Chosen picked King Solomon.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah.
Interesting. It's like a personality test. I have no personality. Anybody. I know there's somebody. I mean, I kind of wouldn't mind talking to Emily Dickinson, I think, because I did a show for Apple called Dickinson about her.
Oh, yeah.
Show.
Big fans.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. I was on for 3 seasons, and in particular the last season. But yeah, I think that's the first person that comes to mind.
Oh, that's great.
I love that. I want to keep up with the kids there.
We got to see your work too in League of Their Own, which we're another really big fans of that show as well too.
Show.
Oh, good. Oh yeah, I felt so lucky. There's such good TV right now, and that was fun too because I got to shoot baseball. I wasn't really a jock in school, but it was really fun, and it was just an emotional. Like just to tell the story through the sport, but have it be all about the character's emotional arc.
Right.
That's a great ensemble cast too.
Oh yeah. Fantastic. Now, going back to Darby and the Dead, I'm curious. There's so much room for storytelling within this world. Was there any plans, or are there any plans right now that you guys are exploring of returning to these characters, or
returning to the dead?
Returning to the Dead. To
Darby and the Dead Part 2 or whatever the sequel.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
It actually, the original script also had this open ending that felt like it could continue. And I know that, the cast has talked about it. Yeah, it'd be great. Let's franchise Darby and the Dead. and things, yeah.
I love it. Well, Silas, thank you so much for your time today. We had such a great time with this film. And I think, like we were saying at the top, it does such a great job of balancing both tones, but also just being like an authentic high school experience as well, too, which is great. So I'm really excited to see audiences getting to check it out later this month, and then get to see what you get to work on next as well, too.
Yeah, it's been exciting that, you're some of the first that have watched it and given feedback. So thank you for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and congrats on the trailer dropping as well, too, because we know that just dropped this week. So it's a big moment.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much again for your time.
Take care. And we are back. What an exciting conversation, and I'm so glad it's finally getting a chance to come out, because we had some great conversations, especially with Asher talking about Shazam Fury of the Gods coming out pretty soon. Like, what was that experience like? And I think right around the, and I could be blanking out, it could be right around the time that James Gunn and Peter Safran were also coming on board. It was just a few weeks after, I believe, that all of that happened. So a lot of really, really cool things, talking about shooting in South Africa, making it look like LA. It's like, well, we didn't see any giraffes or elephants roaming around, so it's good.
We didn't, this isn't The Last of Us. There's not just giraffes roaming the plains of the United States.
No.
Right? But I got to ask you, though, Shay. I got to ask you.
Just ask me.
If you had the ability to speak to somebody who is deceased, if who would you choose? And it's funny because we actually asked this very similar question on our extraordinary interviews.
Very similar. Very, very similar.
Sophia Oxenham, who she would want to be able to channel her in her body, but who would you want to have, I guess, as hanging out with you? That's the most important part. Who would you want to have just hanging out with you? Because it's a little different than just being able to see them.
Well, what's great is there's no wrong answer for this.
Isn't there?
You know what? I take that back. There are definitely wrong answers to this.
There's wrong answers, man. Don't challenge our listeners right now.
I know. They're like, well, what about this guy? It's like, why him? First person that kind of comes to mind, and I think it's because we're talking about the medium that we're in. Like, I'm going to focus on someone that has been an impact on my life through film and television. That would be Robin Williams. I would love to just have unlimited, unfiltered time with him, just to really understand how he did and how he does what he does. Like, it was just like he made my childhood the way it was. Like, and it's so sad that we lost him so soon.
Yeah, that I mean, that's hard topping that. Robin Williams for sure. I'm
so sorry. I should have gone last.
Okay, I'm gonna say the same answer because that's who I would have chosen.
That's fair.
And obviously him being hilarious, but also just it would have been awesome to be able to talk to him and just learn from him as well too, right?
Yeah, because I remember you and I were together when we got that news as well.
Right, we were together. Yeah, we were planning like the early days of what turned to be like our YouTube channel, then the movie podcast, and all of that. So this has
a lot
been
of hard
all
work
in the making all these years ago.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that was a fantastic conversation. And again, we're going to be having a lot of great interviews throughout this year. 2023 is just starting. We're in January right now. We're at the end of January. February is going to be crazy. March is going to be crazy. April will probably be not so great. I'm so sorry. But then right after that, April, I think I'm phoning it in for April.
Phoning it in for April. Listen, man, there's only one movie that matters for me in April, and it's the Super Mario Brothers movie. So,
and I mean, it's also your birthday that month, so that's why I'm phoning it in.
Yeah, it's a milestone birthday as well too.
It is a milestone birthday. You're turning 13
years old.
Oh, 18. Wow, sorry. I got the 3 was missing a little bit of the end of it.
The other side of the 3 was missing, right?
18 years old.
But yeah, I mean, what a start to the month we've had already. We've had some special guests on the show this week. I don't want to say it just in case we have to flip around these episodes a little bit, but January has been off to an absolutely monumental start already. What a start to the year with who we've had already on the show. And like Shyamalan, Rupert Grint, Mary McCartney, the cast of Extraordinary, and so many more. So I just look forward to what's coming next in the next few months, and we know what's coming. So
that's true. We actually do know what's coming. We're such bad people.
Know what's coming. We're awful. We're not telling you a thing.
Of course, you can follow us at The Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Letterboxd, and more. We can follow us, Daniel, myself, and Anthony on our social media accounts as well. All that stuff is going to be in the description down below. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Like I mentioned, that is your homework for tonight. And in the next episode, I will quiz you on it. But I don't know how I'm going to get the answers. That's a tough part. I don't
they could write
know
into the
yet.
show, I guess.
They could write into the show, but I don't know if they're cheating. Then that's the
Discord.
thing. I won't know if they're cheating. That's my problem. Well, I guess if they wrote into the show, they've already passed the first test. They know where the email is.
Yes, I assume so. That'd be a good start.
That's a good start to have. Exactly.
We solved our issue.
We solved our issue right there. Boom. That's big brain energy right there. Again, shout out to our friends over at Disney and Hulu for providing us these interviews and providing us with the movie as well. We had a great time watching it, and we can't wait to work with them more in the rest of the year. Of course, that was This Time with the Movie Podcast, and we'll see you next.